All right, what's up, everyone? What's up, job seekers? Hope everyone's doing fantastic. Good morning. Hope you're doing fantastic wherever you are, whatever part of the world you're at. I'm here every Wednesday, 11 a.m. Eastern time zone. So feel free to introduce yourself in the comments and let me know if you can see me and hear me okay. And introduce yourself in the comments, folks. Great networking opportunity. I'll get today's session started shortly. Very important session. This is something I've been talking about periodically ever since I started posting on LinkedIn and social media and all that stuff. So let me know if what you're doing to stay motivated during your job search. If you're a job seeker, I'd love to hear from all of you folks tuning in today in terms of what you're doing and what your best practices are, how you push through any feelings of negativity, stress, anxiety, lack of motivation when you're job searching. All right. In the meantime, let me check if the notification has gone out. And hopefully I am live and I'm not talking to myself right now. Looks like I am live. Fantastic. So feel free to introduce yourself in the comments, folks. And for those of you tuning in for the first time, welcome. My name is Dean Kulaweera. So every Wednesday, 11 a.m. Eastern time zone, I go live right here on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Facebook, on where else? Twitter/Periscope. I think they're phasing out Periscope, so it's going to be just Twitter soon. And I talk about various job search topics, right? Things that affect job seekers on a regular basis. So I've been posting on LinkedIn since around, well, not just LinkedIn, but YouTube, Facebook, and all these places. Since around 2016, I built a following on LinkedIn of over 30,000. And I continue to bring you every week and throughout the week, various job search related content to help all of you folks out in your job search, right? So feel free to introduce yourself in the comments. Don't be shy. Let me know who you are, which part of the world you're tuning in from. And let me know how all of you folks are doing. All right. So we got Hussein in the house. Hey, good morning, Hussein. Good to see you here. Thanks for tuning in. We got Gurpreet in the house. Hey, Gurpreet. Nice to see you here. Good morning to you as well. No way. We got Megan. Megan in the house. Hey, Megan. So great to see you here. Megan says, hi, Dean. Just want to say so proud of all you're accomplishing and doing. Hey, I really appreciate that, Megan. Hope you're doing great. And great to see you here. Fantastic to see you here. Gurpreet says, hi, I'm Gurpreet from Toronto. Yeah, that's right. Gurpreet is representing Toronto. Awesome. So, folks, today, how do you stay motivated in your job search, right? We got a few more comments coming in here. We got Akash Deep in the house who says, good morning. Good morning, Akash Deep. Thanks so much for tuning in. Again, for those of you tuning in for the first time, thanks for tuning in. So my advice, all my strategies, my tips and advice is based on my 8+ years working in the staffing industry as a recruiter. Right now, as a recruiter, I specialize primarily in IT recruitment. When I was in recruitment, and recently made the switch into job search coaching. So I assist job seekers in their job search, right? So I've been providing one-on-one coaching. I've also been collaborating actually with Gurpreet, who just commented early on her boot camp, a group coaching program to help job seekers. So my advice, everything I'm talking about is practical tips, pragmatic tips, and strategies that all of you folks can utilize in your job search, right? It's not some stuff I just kind of came up with on a Sunday afternoon or anything like that. It's based on my experiences on the front lines as a recruiter, speaking to hundreds, if not thousands, of job seekers over the years, and hearing what job seekers are going through on a day-to-day basis in their job search, right? So again, feel free to keep the comments coming. I got some more comments coming through here. Akashdeep says, I'm from Cambridge. Awesome. We got Cambridge in the house. Akashdeep says, thank you. Hey, no worries, Akash. We got Temi Tope all the way from Germany. Wow. Good to have you here, Temi Tope. I'm not sure how to pronounce that city. Is it Lonray, Germany? So good to have you here all the way from Germany, Temi Tope. All right. So getting into today's topic, folks, what I'm talking about is, staying motivated in your job search. And just a couple of quick announcements. I did want to announce a very special announcement regarding my new program, which I'm going to be releasing next week. It's right here. It's blocking my face, but it's called Applying to Jobs Online 101, the 3-step process to getting up to 20% more responses from hiring teams and hiring managers. If you want more information about that, feel free to visit my website, www.dkglobaltalent.com, for more info. And the reason why I was inspired to create this program, folks, and by the way, this is a 3-step process. I've been teaching job seekers since I've started posting on LinkedIn since like 2016. right? And it's a simple 3-step process on how to get in direct, how to stand out to hiring managers, how to actually get responses to your job applications that you're applying to, and also the method that I advise in terms of how to get in communication with hiring teams, right? This is a process I came up with myself as a job seeker myself in the past, and it's been further verified working in recruitment, as a recruiter. And I've been teaching this process to job seekers for the past couple of years. I've been getting good feedback and responses. And I've actually been teaching this process to my one-on-one coaching clients. And those of my clients who have been applying this process that I teach, who have been sticking to the process, have been getting results. Now, the reason why I created this pre-recorded version of this program is because I know not everyone can afford the one-on-one coaching, right? Because it is pricey. So I'm creating it into a pre-recorded format. It's going to be a kind of a mix of video as well as written, like stuff you got to read that I put together. And the entire program, you can probably complete it in one sitting within 3-4 hours, or you can do it on your own pace. So it's on demand as whatever pace you want to take on the program. So I'm going to be releasing that next week, Monday. So folks, I want to make sure. So when I release, by the way, it's going to be very affordable. I'm probably the regular price is probably going to be like $100 Canadian. But if you want special pricing, right? I'm going to give special pricing to people on my email subscribers list. So make sure you subscribe. So check out my website, www.dkglobaltalent.com. Sign up for the notifications for that course. So you can get access to the special pricing. I'm releasing it at a very affordable price because I want this knowledge to be available to every job seeker out there, right? I don't care what location you are in the world. I want you to be aware of my 3-step process, right? And having that knowledge, you're going to increase your chances of getting responses from hiring managers and hiring teams in your job search, right? So I'm going to give more information about the links and all that stuff later on in today's session. The other thing I wanted to let you know is I'm also collaborating with Gurpreet K. Mann, who is another job search coach. We're providing a 5 weeks program for IT professionals. It's her program. I'm collaborating with her on that to deliver a program that's going to help IT professionals with their entire job search, right? So my program, the one I'm releasing on Monday, it's focused on how do you get responses to your applications, right? It's that part of the process. The program I'm collaborating on with Gurpreet is if you're in a situation where you don't know how to conduct your job search from start to finish, I'm collaborating with Gurpreet on that. So feel free to direct message me for more information about that, all right? So getting into today's topic, folks, all right? So you need to make sure that you're taking notes for today's session. I know I say that every session, but this one's especially very important. And by the way, in the meantime, let me know in the comments, folks. I want to hear from you folks. What are you doing to stay motivated in your job search, right? What are you doing? What strategies are you using? Share it, folks, right? This is a platform for all of you folks to share with everyone, right? Because don't just come here to get information. You got to be willing to share information as well, so everyone in the community benefits from it, right? So feel free to put in the comments, what are you doing as a job seeker to stay motivated in your job search? You got to share what you're doing, what best practices you're carrying out. While I'm sharing my tips and my best practices, right? Because you might have some ideas that I haven't even thought about. So make sure you share that in the comments, folks, all right? So let's get started, right? So tip number 1. So first thing I wanted to mention about staying motivated in your job search. And it's such a simple thing, but it's so important. And I see so many of you folks overlooking this, all right? In terms of staying motivated in your job search. And tip number 1 is simply, folks, it's okay to feel, demotivated. It's okay to feel anxiety. It's okay to feel stress. So first thing I wanted to let all of you folks know is whatever you're feeling, stress, anxiety, depression, all of that stuff, it's okay to feel that way, right? It's a part of being a human being. A lot of you folks are being so hard on yourself, and you're thinking like, oh my God, why am I feeling this way? Why am I feeling, stressed like this? Why am I feeling anxious? You're getting more anxious about the actual anxiety than you are about your job search, right? I know that sounds crazy, but I'm speaking from experience here, right? And by the way, as a side note, any of you folks experiencing like serious depression, I'm not the guy, right? I'm not a certified therapist or counselor or anything like that. So if you're experiencing a serious level of depression, I mean, this session is not for you. You need to seek professional. I'm not a professional help, right? I'm not a certified counselor or therapist or anything right like that, right? All right. So if you're feeling like serious levels of depression, seek professional help and guidance. Okay. I'm not a certified therapist or anything like that. But for the rest of you folks, tip number one is, look, you got to acknowledge whatever you're feeling, and acknowledge that it's okay for you to feel what you're feeling, right? We got a comment here from Daniel. So Daniel, thanks for tuning in. Daniel says, good morning to all. First time here, Dean. Looking forward to it. Hey, great to have you here, Daniel. Thanks for tuning in. So Daniel says, what I do to stay motivated is having venting sessions with friends and family to get it off my chest. Yeah, so this is a fantastic suggestion right here from Daniel, right? And this is why this goes back to what I was saying, folks, right? Tip number one, and what I was saying is acknowledge it. Acknowledge what you're feeling. And one of the ways to do that is, hey, get a friend, get a family member, like Daniel was saying, get it off your chest, folks, right? A lot of you folks, what you're doing is, and by the way, there could be some cultural influences to this, right? Depending on your culture. I'm from the South Asian culture, right? I'm originally from Sri Lanka. I mean, if you're a guy, you're basically you're not really encouraged to express your feelings and your emotions, right? That's the kind of culture that I'm from. I don't mean to, generalize here, but that's the way it is in our culture for the most part, right? So what Daniel's saying, and what I'm saying is that's not healthy, folks. All right, if you're feeling stressed, you're feeling anxiety, especially for the guys out there, right? My fellow men out there. Don't get into the habit of keeping it inside. All right, do what you got to do to let it out. Acknowledge what you're feeling. Acknowledge that you're feeling stressed. Acknowledge that you're feeling anxiety. Acknowledge if you're feeling a little down and out, right? It's okay to feel that way. It's a part of being a human being, folks. So great advice, great suggestion here, Daniel, right? Definitely agree with you on that. Get a friend, get a family member, right? Vent. If it's your best friend who you've known since you were like 5-6 years old, reach out to them. Say, hey, you know what? I just need to vent right now. And just vent, right? And let them know, hey, I don't need your suggestions right now. I don't need any advice. I just want to put everything out there. I just want to vent, and I want to express my frustration, all that stuff, right? So, folks, you got to make sure that you're taking these steps. The worst thing you can do is keeping it inside and thinking that, hey, I'm a guy, or I'm this, I'm that. I'm not supposed to feel these things. I'm not supposed to feel stress. I'm not supposed to feel anxiety. Not healthy, folks. All right. That's gonna put you deeper in the hole, and you're gonna start, like I said before, you're gonna start feeling more stressed about the actual stress, and suppressing that stress and anxiety or whatever you're feeling, more so than your actual situation that you're in, and then it's gonna be magnified. It's gonna become even worse, right? So great advice here, Daniel. Completely agree with you, folks. Have a venting session with friends and family, right? Let them know how you're feeling. Let them know what you're going through, and let them know that you just want to vent. You just want to get it out there. And after that, folks, back in action, right? Get back to the game. Step up to the plate back again, right? After you express yourself, you get all that stress, that anger, that resentment, that anxiety, the frustration you feel, get it out there. Vent. Get help from friends, family, whatever you need to do that. Get it out there, right? We got a comment here from Ryan. Ryan says, hi, Ryan from Toronto. Hey, good to have you here, Ryan. Hope you're doing fantastic. I agree with Dean. Everyone needs a support system. Yeah, folks. Don't try to go at it alone. All right. I've tried that. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. So if you need to reach out to someone, a friend, a family member, or maybe you have a different way of dealing with it, right? Maybe you got to play Call of Duty on your Xbox or your PlayStation, right? Maybe you want to go, I don't know, go to the, assuming where your location is, if you are allowed to go to parks right now, maybe go to the park, shoot some basketball, do what you got to do to get that anxiety and stress out of there, right? So that's tip number one. I kind of spent some time there. Now, going on to tip number two, okay? You've acknowledged the way you're feeling. You're like, okay, Dean, I get it. It's okay to feel this way. It's normal to feel stress, anxiety, and feeling demotivated and all that kind of stuff. All right, I've done that. Now what? Now, step number two, folks, is you need to have a plan, all right? I speak to so many job seekers on a regular basis who kind of are not putting in the time to plan out their day. And this will result in you having too much time on your hands to think about your situation. And you don't want to do that. The more time you have on your hands, folks, to think and speculate and think about all these various scenarios that might happen to you, the worse it's going to be, the more it's going to affect you. So plan out your day. That's tip number two. Hour by hour, folks. All right. So you need to, okay, so maybe after this session or even right now, open up a new tab, open up your Google Calendar, open up your calendar, You need to be planning hour by hour how you're going to tackle your day. All right. So what are you going to do from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m.? What are you going to do from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m.? Stay busy. And by the way, folks, I'm not saying spend 12 hours a day, 8 hours a day to your job search. That's not what I'm saying. Maybe you might want to set aside some time to hang out with family, spend some time with friends. Maybe you want to, I don't know, play a video game or something. I don't know, whatever you need to do, folks. My point here is put it on your calendar. All right. Empty space. One of the best pieces of advice I heard from someone was, empty space on your calendar. I can't remember the saying. It slipped my mind even. But empty space on your calendar is never a good thing, right? It's never a good thing to have empty space on your calendar. So pull out your calendar. Does not necessarily have to be job search related stuff for each and every hour of your day. If you want to do that, hey, go for it. I mean, only you know what you're capable of doing every day, folks, right? But my point here is plan out what you're doing each and every hour of the day. Do not leave any idle time for yourself, right? Take the time. I mean, if you want to spend some time with family, put that in your calendar. You want to spend 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Dedicated to your job search, put that on your calendar. And maybe 11 a.m. to 12 p.m., hey, hang out with the family or something. 12 p.m. to 1 p.m., lunchtime, right? 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., again, job search stuff. 3 p.m. to 4 p.m., call your best friend. All right, you want to vent to them for an hour, go ahead and do that from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. All right, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m., something else. Like, the point here, folks, is have something on your calendar. All right, so that way when you have something on your calendar, even if you're feeling a little down, you have something to stick to. You have something stable and firm that you're gonna stick to during your job search. So you got to kind of treat it almost like as if you do have a job. For those of you unemployed, for those of you who are not actively working right now, you still want to schedule your day the same way you would have had you been working. That's my point here, right? Think about when you were, by the way, for those of you unemployed, think about when you were employed, right? How productive you are, how many things you got done, because you probably had some kind of a schedule or something firm that you stuck to. So apply the same thing during your job search, folks. Right? If you're unemployed, even if you're unemployed, if you're employed, you might want to do the job search stuff after hours, right? But the point here is you got to schedule it, put it in your calendar, plan your day. That's going to help you stay motivated because you have something firm that you're going to stick to that's on your calendar, right? We got a comment here from Gurpreet says affirmations help a lot. Create a few affirmations and repeat 3 to 5 times a day. Meditation helps. Yeah, great suggestion there, Gurpreet, right? So if you're someone who feels like, hey, you know what? I'm going to get in front of the mirror. I'm going to recite some affirmations and that's going to help me get through this. Hey, folks, go for it, right? You got to do that. If you're into meditation, maybe you want to spend some time early in the morning. I don't know, like 6 to 7 p.m., 7 a.m. You're just meditating. That's it. Or maybe you want to sprinkle it. Hey, look, me personally, folks, I'm a guy that likes a little bit of variety in my day, right? Like I don't, if I do the same thing over and over again, I get bored. So what I do personally, my calendar is I put in variety, right? So I put in like, okay, 7 to 7:30 or so, 7 to 7:30 or 7 to 8, I'm working out. I'm doing my morning workout. 8 to 9 p.m., I'm doing like sales training, recruitment training, and that kind of stuff, right? Because I want to stay sharp on my skill set. Then 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. or whatever, I'm focused on, hey, how am I going to market myself, right? How am I going to create new content to help job seekers out there? That's what I'm doing. And then 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. today, for example, I'm doing this stream, right? So put some variety in, folks, right? Otherwise, you're going to get bored and you're going to feel like, oh man, this is just boring. Like it's the same routine every day. So if you're like me, you need a little bit of spice and variety in your day. Add in some spice and variety, folks. There's no reason why you can't just, mix it up a little bit, right, during your day. So, but the point is, put it on your calendar. Put it on your calendar so you get the alert, you get the reminder. Hey, Google Calendar says, hey, yo, you got to do, this and this from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. So make sure you put that into your calendar, right? So great suggestion here from Gurpreet. Arjun says, hello, everyone. We have to accept our situation. Instead of being stressed, we must continue to take actions. Arjun, fantastic point there. I definitely agree with you, right? So what Arjun is saying is, look, don't try and deny the way you're feeling. Don't try to deny your situation. You have to confront your situation, all right? So if you're unemployed, you're struggling in your job search right now, step number one, basically what Arjun is saying is accept it. Accept the situation, folks, all right? Now, step number two is you got to take action, folks, right? So this goes into what I was saying, like put some stuff in your calendar right now or after this session that you're going to commit to it you're going to carry out those actions hour by hour. And again, if you're like me, put some variety into your calendar, folks, right? Because me, I get bored. If I do the same thing for a long stretch of time, I get bored. I have a my attention span. I mean, ask my teachers in school, right? Like I have a terrible attention span. So you got to do what works for you, folks. All right. If you're someone who can do the same thing for like 5-6 hours, hey, God bless you. I wish I could do that. But do that. I mean, put that on your calendar, right? But if you're like me, you need like variety into your calendar. Do that, right? I mean, there's no strict rules here, right? But great point here, Arjun. Thanks for your comment there, suggestion. We got a comment here from Vijay. Vijay says, thanks, Dean, for the positive vibes. Hey, no worry, Vijay. Hope you're doing great, my friend. Always good to see you here. We got Shivam says, white space on your calendar is the enemy of production and plan. Hey, that's the one, Shivam. Yes, that is the quote. Exactly. Thanks so much for sharing that, Shivam, right? So this is the quote I was referring to before, folks, right? Which I forgot. White space on your calendar is the enemy of production and plants the seeds of doubt. This is the quote that I was trying to remember. So thanks for sharing that, Shivam. Folks, I would suggest writing this down on a sticky note and putting it on your wall or wherever it is, because this is so true. This is something that I strongly believe in. You have to keep a full calendar, right? So thanks for sharing this, Shivam. So folks, whatever your calendar looks like, put something in it. I don't care what you put on it, but make sure hour by hour you have something that you're going to be working on. All right. So thanks for sharing that, Shivam. All right. So moving on to tip number 3, folks. All right. In staying motivated. And this is another mistake I see so many job seekers make, right? You guys, you folks get an interview. You're excited about this one company. You're all gung ho. You're like, oh yeah, I got the nail in. What's the phrase? It's in the bag. I got it. I got this. They're gonna go for me. They love me. And then finally it ends up with the organization ghosting you. They move on with another candidate, or it just simply it just doesn't go anywhere. And what happens, folks? You get disappointed. And again, you're back to square one. You feel disappointed, demotivated, the anxiety kicks in, the stress kicks in, and you throw up your hands. You're like, oh, come on, seriously? Like they're going to ghost me now after I spend so much time into the process, or they don't get back to me now, or they say, hey, they found someone else. Seriously, after I put so much time in. So the next tip, folks, tip number 3 is never, ever, if you're taking notes, you want to write this down. Never put your eggs in one basket, folks. All right. You want to keep adding new eggs to the basket over and over and over again until, listen to me, folks, listen to what I'm saying right now, okay? Because I've seen so many people disappointed because of this. Until you are in a seat working for a company, the job search does not end, all right? I'm going to repeat that, folks, because it's so important. So many of you are not doing this, okay? You're getting excited just because you got 1 or 2 interviews or you and the hiring team were happy and laughing. Nothing is confirmed, folks, until you are in the seat. You're sitting in the seat. They got you set up on their email. You're doing the whole onboarding stuff. You're actually working for the company. Until then, the job search does not end, folks. All right. So what I'm saying here is, no matter how good the interview went, I want you each and every day looking for new job opportunities, new opportunities to apply to, new companies to apply to, new companies to research. So you stay motivated and excited. You need to, folks, have a constant pipeline of opportunities in your plate. Do not ever, folks, do not depend on 1 or 2 really good opportunities that you happen to be interviewing for right now. Never do that, folks. It's really heartbreaking to see people get so excited over 1 or 2 opportunities, and then that 1 or 2 opportunities doesn't work out right, and they end up with nothing on their hands. All right. So remember this, folks. Until you are in the seat working for a company, it's confirmed you're actually working on the project for the company. Until then, the game does not stop. Keep applying for opportunities, keep pursuing, keep uncovering, keep looking for new opportunities. All right. So that was tip number 3, is you got to keep a full, in sales, we call it a full pipeline, right? Pipeline. The term is pipeline in sales. And pipeline means you have a consistent flow of potential customers that you're communicating with, that you're reaching out to. Now let's take myself for an example. If I myself as a salesperson put all my hopes on this one customer, everything seems to be going great. And yeah, they like my product. They like my service. They like my solution. But then suddenly the customer says, hey, you know what? I had to change your mind, or hey, I already bought it from somewhere else, or hey, I'm going to go with this. Or maybe the customer ghosts me, right? What happens now? Dean's back to square one. I'm back to 0. No customer, no prospect. I have an empty pipeline. A lot of you folks have empty pipelines, right? You're getting excited about 1 or 2 opportunities, and you neglect applying for new opportunities or pursuing new opportunities. So always, folks, the lesson here is always keep a full pipeline of opportunities, job opportunities that you're pursuing, you're going after. I don't care if you're on the final stage interview. I don't care if you and the hiring team, you're wearing the same shirt. You have so much in common. I don't care, folks. All right. Keep adding new opportunities to your pipeline until you're in the seat working for the organization. All right. I don't want you to take any chances putting all your hopes and wishes into like a handful of opportunities. All right. So keep a full pipeline, folks. All right. Always keep a full pipeline until you're in the seat working for the organization. All right. Now, tip number 4, right? This is a very extremely important tip. So what you need to do, folks, is you need to stay sold on you. All right. I'll repeat that again. You need to stay sold on you. All right. If you are not, now what I mean by that is you need to be so convinced of your value, right? And your value and what you bring to the table that, I mean, it should be pretty much, I mean, second in nature. Like there should be no doubt in your mind of the value you bring to the table. You have to stay sold on you. Now, how can you do this when your job search is not going great, right? When you're not getting responses, no one's responding to you, no one's getting back to you. The company is, they ghosted you, and things are not going great in your job search. How do you do that? Well, folks, you got to revisit previous successes. Revisit your previous wins and successes, right? You got trophies, take those trophies, literally take those out. Don't say, oh, yeah, Dean, I have those. No, folks, I want you to physically take these items out, right? You got trophies, you got certifications, you got awards, right? Some kind of accolades, right? Maybe you got pictures from some award ceremony where you were presented with an award, or maybe you got a video recording of that time you went up to a stage in front of hundreds of thousands of people and accepted some award. Whatever it is, folks, I don't care if it's even just a ribbon that you pin on your shirt here, right? I want you to take it out. I want you to go through all of your previous successes and wins, right? And let's not stick to the trophies and the awards and all that stuff either. Let's go through, like, even write down all of your previous projects, right? All of those successes you achieved, right? The project was at a standstill, and because you did XYZ, the project was able to actually get completed. All of your successes, folks, you need to sell yourself. You need to sell yourself on you. If you're not sold on you, no recruiter, no hiring manager is going to be sold on you. They're not going to be convinced, because it's going to show subconsciously in your body language and how you communicate. You have to 100% be sold on you, right? Dean has to be sold on Dean. If I don't believe in myself, how's any job seeker out there going to believe in me, right? It's one thing that I can deliver value. Yeah, I can deliver value. I can get results. I can help you get results and all that stuff. Yeah, that's one thing. But if I'm not communicating it in a way that's confident, I mean, what's going to happen, folks, right? So, folks, you got to make sure you're sold on you. This is extremely important. This is going to get you motivated. Why? Because when you go through your previous trophies, you're going to go through your certifications, you're going to go through your degrees, you're going to go through your previous projects. Actually, write down your previous wins and successes. You're going to watch your videos of your award ceremonies or whatever. You're going to look at those pictures of when you were awarded, some award from the CEO of like a multi-billion-dollar company. When you look at that, you're going to start sitting up a bit straighter, folks. You're going to start dusting yourself off. You're going to be like, damn, like, I've done a lot of good stuff. I bring a lot of value to the table. You need to remind yourself of your previous successes and wins, folks, all right? A lot of you folks are like, you're only looking forward, which is good. It's good to look forward, right? I get that. I totally understand that. I'm totally with you on that. But a lot of you are forgetting all of the leverage, all of those wins you have from the past and how much value you bring to the table. So again, tip number 4 is, you got to stay sold on you, folks, and go through your previous wins, your previous successes, all that stuff. Physically take out any awards you have, any trophies, all that stuff, right? Write out all of your successes and wins, hurdles, barriers you overcame in your previous projects, and put that out on paper so it's in front of you, so you're reminded of your value that you bring to the table. Very important, right? Now, and then tip number 5, folks, which I believe Arjun already kind of mentioned, is keep taking action, folks. You got to keep taking action. And one of the best pieces of advice that I read, and I actually wrote it down here. It was a great quote that someone told me. And it was, do not feel your way into the action. Put action into creating the feeling. Right, I'll repeat that again because at least for me, it really resonated with me because I believe in taking action, right? Do not feel your way into the action. Now, what does that mean? That means don't wait to feel good. Don't wait to feel excited and pumped up and motivated, right? So it's saying do not feel your way into the action. Put action into creating the feeling, right? So if you want to feel motivated, you want to feel excited, you want to feel good, you want to feel, whatever positive emotion, perform the action that's going to create that emotion. That is the meaning of this. At least that's the meaning that I got out of this quote, right? It was such a great quote. I wish I knew who said this. But again, do not feel your way into the action. Put action into creating the feeling that you want to feel, right? So, which brings me to tip number 5, right? Which is keep taking action, folks. So you got to figure out your game plan, right? What advice, what steps you got to take, what your daily plan is, all that stuff. Sell yourself on you, and then put it into action. Because just feeling good about yourself, it's very temporary, folks. Okay, there's only so much I can do to pump you folks up right now. I can tell you to get pumped up and excited and enthusiastic and all that stuff. But human emotions are, they fluctuate all the time, right? Like over the course of a day, I don't know, I might feel happy at one point. I might feel totally down and depressed another period of time, like within the course of even 1 hour, right? That's just the way we are as human beings, right? So what you need to do, folks, is figure out the action, the steps you need to take, and carry out the actions despite the way you feel, right? That's my parting advice for you folks. And look, and again, as another side note, if you're feeling serious depression and stuff, I'm not your guy, okay? This advice is not for you. You need to seek serious help, like serious professional help. I'm not a certified counselor or therapist or anything like that. I just want to let you know. But for the rest of you, right, do not wait for the feeling of motivation to come about, folks. And that's what I wanted to wrap up this session by saying is, do not wait for the feeling to happen. You got to create it by taking action, right? So again, all these other points I gave you culminate to this very point, right? So again, step number 1 is it's okay to feel demotivated, down, anxiety, stress, all that stuff. It's okay. Acknowledge it, accept it. But then going into step number 2 is you got to plan your day, right? Figure out what your day is going to be like. Fill your calendar, plan out hour by hour, or maybe, first half of the day or second half of the day, whatever works for you. Put things into your calendar, folks. What actions you're going to take, right? And step number 3 is never depend on any handful of opportunities. Until you're in the seat working for an organization, the job search is still on. It's still showtime, folks, all right? So keep a full pipeline of job opportunities that you're pursuing so you stay excited about different companies out there that might need you, right? And step number 4 is you got to stay sold on you. Take out your trophies, take out your awards, take out your certifications, your degree. Sorry, folks. I think you lost me. I think my voice is on mute. So apologies for that. But yeah, yeah. So I don't know why this audio keeps cutting out here and there. So apologies for that, folks. But what I was saying is, yeah. So my new program, it's going to be released next week, Monday. And what it's going to help you with is how to get responses to your job applications. All right. So, by the way, can you confirm, folks, if you can see, if you can hear me now in the comments? I don't know why, but I've been having this issue with my mic lately, so I'm gonna stop using this mic. So let me just switch my mic. Apologies for that, folks. Apologies. Let's see here. So can you folks let me know if everything's okay with my sound now? I think it should be fine now. Okay, yeah. So looks like things are okay. So apologies for that, folks. I'm gonna stop using that mic. I don't know why that happens, but all right. So going back to it, and this kind of messed up my whole thing about the program. But basically on Monday, folks, I'm releasing my program, Applying to Jobs Online 101, the 3-step process to getting responses from hiring teams. Right. This is the 3-step process I figured out many years ago as a job seeker, and over the years, especially since 2016 when I started. Coaching job seekers and helping job seekers out. I've been teaching this process to job seekers over the years. Also been teaching it to my one-on-one Zoom coaching clients as well. And the reason why I wanted to make it like into a pre-recorded on-demand format, folks, is because I know not everyone can afford the one-on-one coaching, right? Not everyone can afford one-on-one Zoom coaching with me. So I wanted to make it something very affordable. So this entire program, you can probably finish it within like 3-4 hours. And at your own pace. You can do it in one sitting. If you're someone who can do it in one sitting, you can finish it in like 3-4 hours. If you're like me, you need to space things out. Maybe you want to space it out over a few days. Hey, you can do that as well. But it's a 3 to 4 hour program you can complete on your own time at your own pace. And it's a 3-step process that I've been teaching over the past couple of years to help job seekers stand out to hiring teams, get responses, get communication from hiring teams, and also from recruiters and HR people as well, right? So I'm releasing it next week, Monday. And again, I'm probably going to release it for like $100 Canadian. But if you join my list below, so if you join the wait list, I will share special pricing with my email subscribers, right? So I'll give you a further discount. I think that's a very reasonable price, folks, like $100 Canadian. And hopefully it's affordable for those of you around the world as well, right? So this doesn't matter what your location is. This will help you get in communication with hiring teams, folks, all right? So feel free to sign up. I'm very excited about this. And also, hey, if you've been following me for a while, you know Dean likes to over deliver, right? So don't think you're only getting this program. I'm gonna be sharing more details about some other goodies that I'm gonna put in as bonuses in relation to this program, which I'm really excited. I'm even tempted to tell you what those bonuses are right now, but I want to stay tight-lipped until next week, all right? But in the meantime, sign up for this, folks, so you get the special pricing when I do release it, all right? So that's pretty much it regarding the program. So I'm gonna get into the questions now. And let me share the link for those of you who want to ask me your question, or share your own comments as how you deal with staying motivated. All right. So I'm going to share the link in the comments. So just give me a couple of seconds here, and I'll open it up to the Q&A. So if you folks have any questions related to staying motivated in your job search, or maybe you want to share your own best practices, how you stay motivated, I want to hear from you right now. So put it in the comments, or I'm going to share a link right now where you can call in as a live caller. So give me a couple of seconds to type that out. I'll put that in the comments. And you can disable your camera, by the way, folks, right? You don't have to be on camera. You can adjust your name if you don't want your real name to be there. But just make sure you have a mic. And, feel free to call in with your live questions, all right? Happy to have interact with you folks live. Or put your questions and your comments in the comments as well. All right. So let me go through the comments right now. Let me see what questions or best practices you folks are sharing. So we got so Vijay here says getting a job outside from Canada is really hard, although we'll never give up. Yeah, Vijay, I totally understand. And you know what, Vijay, so many job seekers. I mean, there's so many talented people, folks, like outside of the country that are trying to establish relationships with hiring teams over here. And yeah, Vijay, it's definitely not easy, right? Because you're competing with people who are already on the ground over here. So you got to make sure, folks, that you're taking the right steps in getting in communication with hiring teams, hiring managers, building that relationship so that even in a worst case scenario, Vijay, let's say worst case scenario, you can't get a job offer while you're there. The worst case scenario is at least by the time you come here, you already have like well-established relationships with people that are locally on the ground here in Canada, right? So absolutely, Vijay, it's hard, but don't give up. Keep pushing through, my friend. All right, don't give up. We got Akashdeep says, hello all. Thank you so much for taking time for us. I believe that not everything is in our hands. What we can do, accept the situation, stay positive, motivated, and spend time with family and friends. So Akashdeep, first of all, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts on that. I do partly agree with you, Akashdeep. I think one more thing I would add to that, Akashdeep, is take action. You got to take action, right? So yeah, I mean, there are definitely things that are beyond our control, folks, right? Look, the reality, folks, is look, not everything is going to be in our control. There are many things right now that are not under my control. Like I personally have no control over this pandemic going on, right? I have no control over how the government responds. I don't have any control how my fellow citizens respond to this. I don't have control over, if I'm driving a car, I have no control over the other drivers. But what do I do? What do I have control over? That's what I want to focus on, right? So Akashdeep and all the other job seekers out there, I don't want you folks to think about the things you do not have control over. That's not going to help you. That's going to further result in more anxiety, more stress. So what I want you to do, Akashdeep and all the rest of you folks out there, take a sheet of paper and I want you to write down each and everything that you do have control over, right? Everything from the time you wake up in the morning to brushing your teeth to preparing your breakfast, preparing your coffee or your hot chocolate or whatever you drink, your resume, your cover letter, how you're formatting your resume, how you're communicating, how many recruiters you're reaching out to, how many jobs you're applying to, how many new people you're connecting with in your LinkedIn network. These are all things that you have control over, folks. So I want you to focus on those things you do have control over. Because guess what? It's no use, folks, stressing out over things that you and I have no control over, right? I can sit in front of the TV watching the news, feeling stressed out over the pandemic all I want. But guess what? I personally cannot do anything about it. Maybe there are some things I can do as an individual to help, ease the situation and stuff like that. But I have no control over this pandemic. What do I have control over, though, however? I have control over what Dean chooses to watch on TV. I have control over what Dean chooses to do from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. today, which is do this live stream. I have control over what Dean chooses to do with his marketing, with his promotion, with his, helping job seekers, with setting up Zoom calls. So I'm going to focus on what I do have control over. So my advice to you, Akashdeep, and everyone else out there, yes, there are things you don't have control over, folks, but I want you to focus on what you do have control over. So take out a sheet of paper. I know as silly as it might sound, I want you to list out each and every single thing you do have control over, from the time you wake up in the morning to whatever else in your personal life and personal day that you have control over, right? So make sure you do that. But great comment there, Akashdeep. Thanks for sharing that. We got Elham in the house. Elham, always good to see you here. Thanks so much for tuning in. Gurpreet says, great advice, Dean. Thanks so much, Gurpreet. Appreciate that. And by the way, folks, if you want more information about the boot camp I'm doing with Gurpreet, that's a separate program. That's for conducting your job search from start to finish, right? From resume creation all the way through to offer negotiation. That's a 5-week program. It's Gurpreet's program. I'm collaborating on her with it for IT professionals. So if you're interested in that, feel free to message myself or Gurpreet. All right. Yeah. So Jonas, apology. Yeah, my apologies, folks. I don't know. Like I got this. See, I've been using this same mic ever since I started doing live streams, but just recently, like sometimes the audio keeps going in and out. So hey, any tech experts out there, if you have any advice for me, let me know why that's happening. It's automatically going into mute for some reason. So my apologies for that, folks. Apologies for that. But hopefully all of you folks still got value out of this session. Let's see any other. So it looks like no more questions, folks. All right. So I'm going to assume everyone is good and everyone got value out of today's session. So hey, look, if you are experiencing, lack of motivation, I hope today's tips help. If you're if you're stressed, if you're feeling bad, if you're feeling down, you're feeling demotivated, folks, first of all, it's okay. All right. It's okay to feel that way. We're human beings. We feel certain things, but I want you folks to take the necessary steps and actions in planning out your day and pushing through, folks. All right. Push through, folks. Keep pushing through in your job search. All right. You can do it. I'm here to support you in whatever way possible. Follow my content. I put regular daily job search related content on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram. I'm even on TikTok. I'm not doing so well on TikTok. I've only got 30 followers, but hey, at least I'm putting out content on there as well. All right. So folks, hope everyone has a fantastic week ahead. And again, don't forget to sign up for my email list for special pricing on my program. Very excited about that. Very excited to announce the bonus stuff as well that's coming out. And hey, every Wednesday, 11 a.m. Eastern time zone, Put that on your calendar. Every Wednesday, 11 a.m. Eastern time zone. Join me, Dean Kulaweera, right here on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for your regular dosage of job search tips and advice. And also every other day of the week, I put something on all those social media platforms. Right. All right. So hey, take care, folks. Hope this session was helpful. And let me know what you're doing to stay positive in your job search, and share it in the comments so everyone else, other people can benefit from it. All right. Take care, everyone. Keep pushing through.